Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Renata Kamionina, Marketing Project Manager at MedDream. And today we have a joint event with our partners, DataHive and SoluMed. And we will present our products integration and demonstrate it. And Marius is going to help us with integration part. So, as you know, our webinars are being recorded, and all the registrants will receive a video recording after the webinar, and of course, the presentation file. So I invite you to write your questions in the question and answer section. I'm going to collect all the questions and read them in the end of the webinar. Of course, questions should be related to the integration of MedDream and our guest speakers' solutions. And in case we cannot answer to your questions, we're going to put the answers in the presentation file, which you received after the webinar. As you see, the agenda of the webinar, it's introduction of MedDream, DataHive, and SoluMed collaboration. Of course, our guest speakers will take the most part with presenting their solutions, DataHive Archive and SoluMed RIS, demonstrate MedDream integration with SoluMed and DataHive, and present solution offering overview. And in the end, as I mentioned before, it's going to be question and answer part. Today we have two guest speakers, very experienced, and I hope it's going to be really interesting and productive webinar. We will share their experience with us. So first guest speaker is Christoph Coetzee, co-founder and managing director at DataHive. He's going to present their archive and share his knowledge. And the second guest speaker is Saul Jankelo, managing director at SoluMed. He's also, as you see, really experienced in the field. So we are waiting for his part of presentation and product demonstration. And from MedDream, we have Marius, our system integrator at MedDream. Marius will start with introduction, how our collaboration started, and of course help us in the question and answer section with integration related questions. So I'm giving the word to Marius to introduce this collaboration. Marius.
Hello, hello. I hope you can hear me well. So thanks everyone for joining the webinar. I hope you had a great summer, you had a great holidays, and you are ready to work now. So today we have very nice collaboration with DataHive. So I think it's first collaboration started even in 2019, while the DataHive was developing the teleradiology solution for the diagnostic and radiology solutions, and they had quite clear requirements so that the viewer would be a certified diagnostic viewer with concurrent licensing model, that it should be fully web-based without any local installations. However, it should be capable of supporting multi-monitor diagnostic workflows, and it has all the features and all the measurements and so on, which are required for such radiology viewers. So after thorough evaluation, DataHive selected the MedDream and integrated in their cloud-based teleradiology platform, which are powered by the DataHive archive and the SoluMed RIS. And of course, as this is the integration on the cloud, so this means that MedDream should be integrated securely. So the secure token-enabled integration has been implemented in this platform, and the same setup still remains in use even today. So almost, I think, 6 or 7 years, this teleradiology platform solution works. What I want to mention that with DataHive, that basically I would say they did all the integration by themselves, by the provided documentation on our website, installation manual, integration manuals, and so on. I checked our history in the emails, so we had maybe a few emails regarding some technical questions, but in general, DataHive did all the integrations independently by themselves. So we actually a little bit proud of that, because this means that if our partners has technological knowledge, this means that they can implement our solution, our viewer, into their system basically independently by themselves. Of course, we are always here. We are always ready to help you. So if you will have any questions, you can write to us and we can have a meeting. We can have an email conversation and we will help you. But it also indicates that it is possible, for the clients to do the integration by themselves. Also talking about the common things about the DataHive and the MedDream. So I know that DataHive is also heavily working with the AI, which is now a trend, I think, and it will be here for a while. So the MedDream is also not pushing the brakes, but going full speed forward. And we are also working with different AI vendors, which provide different AI solutions in the medical field, in the medical imaging. So we already also have many clients who has integrated MedDream with some AI solutions, which provide some insights, some measurements, or whatever that AI solution is intended to do. So regarding this, we are also in the collaboration. When DataHive first came to MedDream, so they are for the South Africa region. So they were, I would say, the early adopters of the MedDream Viewer in that region. Later, of course, this expanded to other South Africa regions and nearby regions. And MedDream is also not stopping on this. We are also each year, I would say maybe even every quarter or even a few months, we are getting registered in the new countries and new regions. We get the new certificates in the new countries where we didn't have. So you can always follow our registrations in the new countries and new regions on our website. We have a new section here, so you can always find this information. I think Renata puts the same information in our social networks, LinkedIn and Facebook, and also for those who has a newsletter. So we also send this information. So if your country is still not in the list, so subscribe and check our website. Because maybe soon we will be registered in your country or your region as well. Getting back to the DataHive, so basically they are also actively using MedDream for further clinical researches through Proxemics, which is a radiology research data provider, where MedDream, of course, is used for reviewing, evaluating, and annotating diagnostic data for the machine learning and for the various research applications. So with this incredible partner support, Chris asked me to personally thank to Brigitta, which is our salesperson in the MedDream, because this first collaboration, first contact was by Christoph and Brigitta when they ordered a few licenses, and all this collaboration started. Of course, other part of the MedDream team was involved in the later steps. So together with DataHive, SoluMed, and MedDream, the powerful, I would say, web radiology solution was created, driving efficiency, accessibility, and innovation in South Africa healthcare and beyond. So once again, I would like to welcome Christoph and Sol, and I wish you everyone a nice webinar.
Thank you, Marius.
Well, thank you, Renata and Marius. Let me share my screen. Thank you, Renata and Marius and all the other attendees. It's an honor to share our solution with you today. We started watching these webinars during COVID. It was about 5 years ago, and today it's our turn to present. We're very excited about this call. Looking at our journey, DataHive was founded in 2018, and we immediately partnered with SoluMed. As both of our companies are based in South Africa, we understand the frustrations in healthcare, especially in emerging markets. And in 2018, we also started the development on our all DICOM platform. In 2019, we created a backend for a large radiology data broker and started our teleradiology solution offering. Our radiologists, as Marius mentioned, required a web viewer that's fully certified with a full toolbox and all features. And we bought our first licenses from MedDream as a client. So we started using it really as an end user, as a client. We immediately performed a very tight and secure integration with a token integration with SoluMed. And as more and more users started seeing the power of MedDream and the integration, we eventually bought more licenses for them and eventually became the supplier for MedDream in Africa and South Africa. So today in 2025, we have a modern, fully integrated radiology solution with data management, workflow, and diagnostic viewer capabilities, including an auto-load function where the archive will automatically load studies that it receives into the RIS workflow. We supply solutions to various industries, from mobile screening solutions across Africa to private practice and even military use. When looking at these technologies, technologies and different features, you'll see that there's a lot of similarities between DataHive and the SoluMed platforms in these white silos over here. Both of them are multi-tenant, both can be deployed on-premise or in the cloud. Both are modern and scalable, but the difference is in these last few points. The DataHive All platform is a DICOM data management platform, handling the imaging and all the diagnostic data side, where the SoluMed RIS is a radiology workflow solution and the everything else platform with native support for clinically relevant data and patient notes and referring physician letters. Looking at this blue, the All DICOM engine, that powers the All platform and has all the features that you'd expect from a modern VNA, but with much more. We're AI integration ready, and in fact, it's a core part of our workflow. And the solution can also be deployed in a capacitor mode, which is really optimized for image transfers, including security and DICOM TLS, overload bandwidth, and high latency solutions. So I'll hand over to Sol to introduce the SoluMed RIS.
Thank you very much, Chris. Good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to be presenting. Very excited, and thank you for your attention. SoluMed RIS is a completely suitable system with the DataHive or archive for any kind of small and medium-sized clinic, from mammography practices, day centers to full radiology departments of hospitals. Our work list of cases or visits allows an easy view in an actual work list or in an Outlook style calendar. And the entire workflow is catered for, from patient registration, verification of images, notes from the technicians or radiographers to the radiologist reporting. We have a complete billing component as well that can be switched on or off. Our system can send the approved report to the referring physicians automatically based on an email template within X minutes of approval. We cater for multiple radiologists, report templates per team or individual on a first come, first served, or cases can be pre-assigned based on radiologist schedules or expertise. And senior radiologists can take over a case if they want to. Reports can be done via dictation. We have built-in Azure Cognitive Services, but we also recommend Dragon One Medical for transcribing. Text can be typed manually or started from a template. You can have also your own clinical forms to be filled in with data, and you can generate an AI-based report from that. And what Chris has got in, I think, 18 different pathologies on chest x-rays, when there's AI heat map rendering and AI generation from the DICOM images, we can get that via HL7 automatically and generate an AI provisional report for the radiologist to approve or to modify. I will do a quick demonstration and walkthrough of all of this shortly. As I said, we cater for automatic emailing of the approved report within X minutes of approval. When the radiologist approves, maybe within a minute or two, they realize they want to make a quick amendment. So that's fine. So we have a slight delay before we send it out automatically. And we have full version control. So we know exactly when a report was amended, and we date and timestamp each report.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I want to introduce this slide over here. And this is a very powerful slide where we can see the strengths and the shortcomings of each individual component and how together they complement each other as the perfect workflow solution. So moving counter or clockwise from the top, the DataHive All platform is a full diagnostic workflow engine, but it lacks both clinical workflow and a diagnostic viewer. Likewise, the MedDream Viewer is certified diagnostic viewer, but it lacks clinical workflow and DICOM storage. And finally, the SoluMed RIS, which has the full clinical workflow, lacks the diagnostic viewer and DICOM storage. So where these three modules overlap, we truly have healthcare perfection. And although each of these individual components can be deployed individually, where they come together, we're able to truly perform magic in areas where even basic imaging healthcare is lacking, and then also greatly enhance workflows in already developed ecosystems. So this brings us a perfectly fully integrated horizontal solution offering that we can deploy to very small sites. Our smaller sites are doing only a handful of studies a day. We're quite actively involved in the veterinary market where they do 2, 3, 4 studies per day. And the exact same solution is scalable to meet pretty much any imaging workflow. Our largest clients do well over 1 million studies per annum. And as the whole solution is browser-based, it can be accessed by anybody on any device with a modern browser, which is a really powerful tool for referring physicians, surgery planning, and patient interaction. So in terms of the solution offering, this is our final slide, and each and every project is unique. We've been in the industry a long time, and we're yet to come across 2 sites that are identical. We're involved with various specialized projects, such as data management in the mining industry and sectors, operational healthcare globally, tuberculosis, and silico screening more so in Africa with mobile units, and these are augmented by AI modules for the automated screening. But Our archive is also used to both centralize data where groups manage or merge or change vendors, or for data segmentation, where a single archive can service, as an example, oncology, general radiology, emergency care, and women's health care in a single hospital, but each department will only have access to their own data. As Marius mentioned, we're also providing solutions to Proxemics. It's a global company in it's a radiology data broker specifically for research. And there we use the all vendor neutral archive backend to index just massive amounts of radiological data. We de-identify both the imaging data and the reports, DICOM data, and we use the MedDream Viewer there in a research setting to preview and annotate data. We use an iframe integration there, and we have intelligent tools to automatically retrieve the images from cold storage in AWS and Azure, and we'll show a preview of how that annotation works shortly. And while we're able to optimize and transform workflow in routine and private radiology, our solution really expands in terms of teleradiology to sites all over Africa and globally. It's used both as a platform, as a service, where clinics send their data and they might not have their own radiologists, and there's a pool of radiologists reporting their data, but also software as a service, where groups have their own radiology departments, they have their own radiologists, and they just want a system that works that they can use immediately. So I'll hand over to Sol here to do a practical demonstration of the RIS workflow. And after that, I'll show a quick demo of our multi-tenancy and AI integration with OR and MedDream. Thank you, Sol.
Thank you very much, Chris. Just go ahead and share my screen. Complete web-based and cloud-based system, typically held at a data. We can host that anywhere. We use our own service provider here in South Africa. We also have clients using Azure, Amazon. We can install on-prem or on the cloud or a hybrid of both. We can talk about that a little later as well. So when we log in, each user gets their own username and password. And those users are obviously part of groups, whether they're radiologists, radiographers, administrators, receptionists, billing. So we have a full billing solution as well, but I'm not going to touch on that right now. But there's a complete invoicing system here as well. So when I log in, I've logged in as a radiologist, and it's taken me straight to my work list. So if there are multiple sites that we've got access to, that could be available here. We can restrict users to only see their own site, and people that have got access can see a multi-sited list of departments or sites. What we're looking here in the work list, we're looking at all cases regardless of date. Now, typically, we would look at incomplete cases, and we could say for today only or this week or whatever it might be. But what we want to do is say, regardless of date, show me all my incomplete cases. An incomplete case at the moment in this Telerad demo is if the report has not been done and approved by a radiologist. If there was billing involved, then we would expect the case to be billed, invoiced, and reported, and then it gets completed and then falls away from the work list. What we're seeing here is you'll see a bunch of tabs. So I've got all cases 6. I've got a to be approved. There's 1, to be reported 2, and the search results is if I do a manual search for cases. The columns that we're seeing here, each user can decide what columns they want to see. So we can tick on and off what columns and move the columns around. So I might want the referring doctor there. So it's customizable for each user. This work list is the same idea or view of the cases I can see in an Outlook style diary. I just want to show you what that looks like. So I can have, for a full radiology department, I can set up a diary, X-ray, ultrasound, CT, MRI, and I can actually book cases for later today or for other cases, or I can register the patient immediately. I can see those cases in a calendar view or in a work list view just by toggling like that. So it's an integrated diary system as well. So when I come to my work list over here, I can see here's a patient number 2 X-ray of the chest. So the integration into MedDream when I've selected a row in the work list, I can either right-click and get all my menu options, or I can select the menu options at the top of the toolbar there. So if I just wanted to open MedDream, I can say View Study, and that will immediately open up those images in MedDream and open up the viewer. And obviously, once the hanging protocols are set up, that's typically opened on the big diagnostic workstation. So I'm going to move that out the way to my other screen. So as a radiologist, I've got the big images on my big diagnostic screen next to me. If I wanted to report the case, I can see, by the way, the columns that we're seeing here, the little traffic light icons. A means that the patient or the study has arrived. X means the X-ray image has been done. R means we've got a report, and C means it's complete. The billing icons have been removed for the time being. So gray means that step has not occurred. Green means the step has succeeded. Red means it's taken too long or there's a delay. Orange means it's in progress. So it's very transparent for everybody to see the status of each case. Now, if I go into this patient, patient 1, I can see there's no report done yet. So if I wanted to report the case, I'm just simply going to hit the report button. What that will do is immediately open up that patient's X-ray. So there, that's that patient. I'm going to move that again out the way. And now, in order for me to do the report, I can either type from scratch, or I can dictate. We've got Azure Cognitive Services built in for dictation and transcribing. We recommend using Dragon One Medical. That works perfectly here as well. And of course, we can use templates. So we can have templates that are suitable for a team of radiologists. Each radiologist can have their own templates. I'm just going to go and have a look here at what templates are available. This is a chest. I'm just going to go look at my chest templates that are available. And here's a chest PA lateral. So I'm just going to double click and bring that text in. So that's what I normally have to start off with. And then, of course, I can get in and make changes if I wanted to. We also cater for ICD-10 coding. In South Africa, that's a requirement. The medical insurance companies need it. So if I suspected a cardiomegaly or something, I could actually look for the code by typing in the actual disease name like that. Or I could put in the code if I know it as well. So if I'm happy with that report, I can simply hit the approve button. Are you sure? And I can hit yes. What we've also got is an approve and next. So what that does is we respect the time of the radiologist and try not to make them click too often. So what would happen is the approve and next would simply open the next case in that same view. Now, we had all cases were 6, but because we approved that report, it's dropped to 5. So we've only got 5 left to do. If I change this to complete cases, I can see my complete cases like that, or I can see a mixture of incomplete and complete. So when I go look at a case that's been done, let's have a look at this one, patient 1. I can see there's a green light under report and it's completed. So if I wanted to view that report, I can get back into the reporting system and it actually shows me the text. Now this text is actually locked because the report has been approved. If I have permission, I can make a new version of the report by clicking this button. And then of course I can make version 2. Whoops, version 2.0. And I could reapprove that version and we date stamp each copy. The actual report that's generated is based on a template and we can make that look however you like with the logo of your department or your practice, merge fields for the patient. The text of the report then gets merged in like that. And then of course we can allow each radiologist to have a scanned copy of his signature. And that's what the basic report looks like. We obviously have a system to send the report into the archive. So we can also send it to his systems. We've got an integrated HL7 mapping system for incoming and outgoing HL7. So we can integrate with HRS systems. We can send reports, we can send images or whatever you like. We also have an ability to automatically email the referring doctor. So within X minutes of approval, this report will be encrypted and sent via email to the referring doctor. Referring doctors can also log into the system we actually have a system that when you add a referring doctor, like here's Dr. Gregory House, this email got triggered automatically that we've approved you as a referring physician, and we actually auto-generate the links that that doctor can log in. When that doctor logs in, he'll only see his own patients that he can get to the MedDream images in the viewer and the report. So it's like an integrated referral portal. We're just trying to make the reporting as simple as possible. So back some of the other ways of doing the report, if I look here to be approved, we've actually got the ability, you can see here, I've got a blue light under report. That's telling me that our AI model has taken data that we've received from the awesome archives, AI rendering and heat mapping. We receive an HL7 ORU and augment that with the models that we've done and then create a provisional report automatically. So the bottom line is, as the radiologist, this is in the to be approved queue. So we're simply going to open it up. It's telling me that the AI has already done it. And then here's the text that was done on the provisional. Now, the viewer opened like that. Christoph will explain. It's actually picked up and rendered visually that we can see issues on the chest X-ray. And then based on the text of the report, we've actually generated cardiomegaly, enlarged cardiomegaly, et cetera, and then we can go ahead and approve that report, or of course change it if we wanted to. And then that's now the to be approved is now gone to 0. And of course I can see everything in all cases at any time. One of the other ways of doing a report is using a clinical form. So in our system, we can design clinical forms. You can design your own clinical forms. Of course, we'll always be there to help you. But the clinical forms can contain any number of questions and questions that lead intelligently to other questions. So let's go look at another one here. Here's another one for patient Mr. Homer Simpson. We can see the report light is orange, that we've started with it, but we haven't approved it yet. So we can actually open one of the clinical forms. I've got a sample chest immigration questionnaire called chest X-ray. And you see here, I've got a section diagnosis, skeleton and soft tissue, normal or abnormal. So if it's abnormal, it wants me to put in some text. Lung fields, normal, abnormal. I'm going to go and just put in some text for an abnormal finding on the lung fields. So we can have any number of field types on here. We can have dates, tick boxes, drop downs, and questions that lead intelligently to others. And we can even put an image that you can annotate on if you wanted to. Now, when I complete that form, the nice thing about this is that data is saved as data points. So from an analysis point of view, it's all sitting in a SQL Server database. And we can then go and generate, if you ever wanted to extract that data, we've got all the data points as data, not just sitting in a text document, and we can get that out to you. What I've now done is I've taken all the answers to the questionnaire, and we've got some basic models in here. So here the AI has generated a report for me as a letter to the referring doctor. So I'm going to go ahead and say, apply that to my report. Let's replace that text. So this report here got generated, and it even suggested ICD-10 codings. And then, of course, we could have added in a template, added more text, done really whatever we want. And then when we go ahead and approve the report, whoops, I've done that one already. That's how simple it is to report the case. So I'm hoping that that's coming across clearly, and I think we just try to keep the system as simple to use as possible. And thank you very much for your time, Chris. Chris, back to you.
Thank you, Saul. Yeah, that was a fantastic presentation of the RIS. I'll steal your share quick. I want to show you something truly unique today. So this is, we spent quite a bit of time on this and built this out using MedDream and the OR archive. So using the exact same MedDream backend deployment and the same DataHive or archive, I'm going to log in today with 3 different users. So I'll show you here, we'll just have a user 1. And if we log in with this viewer, with this user, we'll see that there's two patients, patient 1 and a patient 2. And if I log in with another user, so those two patients were stored in for user 1 in the user 1 segment of the archive. And if we log in with user 2 into the exact same system, we'll see that this user will have patient 3 and 4. So those two patients were saved to a different segment of the same archive. And finally, we have a super user called user 3. And this user will have access to all 4 studies. Now, to be clear, what's happened in the backend is MedDream queried both the individual storage segments, and all the results were combined and sent back uniformly as a single result back to the MedDream Viewer. And this way, you can cater for multiple clients completely unrelated, even sharing study instance UIDs with the same software deployment and the exact same model with MedDream as a singular deployment. This is a very powerful tool for business continuity, and there's no need to host multiple archives and MedDream instances. The single solution will service multiple clients. So we're very nearly at the end. This is very exciting. This is the part I've been looking forward to the most. So I want to show you just very briefly how we use AI integration and segmentation with MedDream. So on this study for patient 1, this contains a segmentation of the lungs that was done by an AI model for further model training. And we could just turn that on or off. It's saved as a presentation state, as a DICOM object back into the packs. You can see that we use MedDream to visually review those annotations. And the nice thing with this is it's overlaid on the full original diagnostic image. So in this case, it helped AI developers visually confirm that their pre-training model is correct, that they were segmenting the lungs correctly, and they can visually confirm that. But we also use this exact same methodology to display results to radiologists in a very non-intrusive way, because you can just turn this on or off, and you still look at the full diagnostic image while you're busy doing that. And then likewise, with this case, patient 2, it contains various heat maps that were created as secondary capture instances by the AI model. For this instance, you'll notice immediately that the hanging protocols changed. It's a fantastic feature of MedDream 8.7.0, and we can cycle through the hanging protocols here at the top very easily. Typically, in a case like this, we would put the original diagnostic image on a diagnostic monitor and group all the heat maps together on a tile as tiles as the AI results in another viewport. Thank you. And this concludes the presentation and the demonstration. And Renata, back to you.
Thank you so much. Hope our attendees was very excited also. So I am going to read the questions and share my screen with the presentation. Okay, so I'm reading the first question. How long does it take to deploy the system? We have 5 radiologists and perform about 60,000 studies per year.
Well, thank you, Renata. I'll answer this one. Typically, the archive itself, MedDream, and the RIS, as they're all fully integrated already, is deployed within a single day once the environment is ready. It's a very quick deployment, and that gives us a blank canvas. Now, every single site has unique requirements and unique workflow requirements where we set that up. That takes about another half a day or a day or so. And then SoluMed takes over with the training. They provision the different types of users, technician, radiographers, radiologists, front desk and admin. And typically this is done remotely, and training only takes a couple of days. It's very intuitive, and it's extremely rare that we retrain, that we perform refresher training on the system. So from when we get the go-ahead, within a few days, the whole system is live and deployed.
Okay, thank you. So I'm moving to the next question. Do you offer quality control and DICOM modality work list as a part of the solution?
So yes, the archive itself does have basic quality control where you can alter patient details, study details, but we also offer a quality control station that has substantially more granular control for quality control, where you can do 3D renderings, and that can also integrate with a DICOM printer if you need that, or even a CD robot or a CD printer, a jukebox. So yes, the DICOM modality worklist is fully integrated with the RIS and works with all the modalities. It's segmented by modality as per the DICOM standard. So yes, we can completely do that.
Okay, thank you. Another question. Can billing integration be done by RIS with local system in my country?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a full integrated billing system. In South Africa, we even claim from the medical insurance companies and provide all the tariffs and fees for the various insurers. We do work in various countries in Africa and in Asia. We have clients in Indonesia, Ghana, Uganda, Morocco. So the billing is absolutely set up. You can set up your own tariffs and fees and set up all the procedure codes and consumables, and then you can invoice. So from the work list, you can actually load all of your actual procedure codes and consumables and bill and create an invoice. So there's a full data system under the hood, if required, that's linked in. And then, of course, we could set up your price lists and tariffs very, very easily. In terms of working with insurance companies in various countries, we'd have to look at each one, but certainly as a basic billing and invoicing system, absolutely yes. We also have an integration with Xero accounting. So we have some clients using Xero as their full accounting backend, and SoluMed, once the invoices are done, automatically arrives in the Xero accounting system.
Okay, thank you. I can move to the next one, yes?
Yes.
Can the system be installed on-premise, hybrid, with cloud only?
So the answer is yes. We have most of our clients on our cloud system where there's no installation done. We have a very large hospital we've recently done that are 24 hours and they do about 100 patients a day. There we've deployed it locally on premise. So they actually have a server on the LAN at the hospital. That then replicates using SQL Server replication to our cloud. So you can have a mixture of hybrid and on-prem. And then from an archive point of view, Chris, maybe you can just speak quickly about having the DICOM image physically moved around, compressed and moved around and available on hybrid or cloud.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, and we support all three scenarios. In typical low bandwidth scenarios, you might have the requirement to have a system on site where cases can be reviewed on site or as a hybrid, or if required as a cloud only solution. So yeah, we support all three types, are so premise, hybrid, or cloud, are seamlessly integrated and can be deployed whatever the use case requires. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the next question, how secure is the system?
Thank you for the question. If I can just start there, and Chris, you can jump in as well. So the SoluMed Web RIS has gone through a severe penetration test. We have ISO certification that I'm happy to share, including GDPRS standards. So we believe we've employed the best practice that there is to date that makes the system absolutely secure. And we can share ISO certification and anything else, any other compliance.
Yeah, thank you. If I can add to that, MedDream, of course, is super secure. We've done a very tight token-based integration between the systems using TLS. Our system, the DICOM archive, also supports DICOM TLS and is set up with a VPN by default. And we have very strict account control and roles-based access as well. We're also not promiscuous by default, meaning that only approved modalities and approved systems can interact with the system. And because of the multi-tenancy and the data segmentation, very specific rules are set up to allow anybody to query our system on both DIMC and WADO.
Okay, thank you. So I'm reading the next one. Can the RIS be integrated with HIS, Hospital Information Systems?
Thank you for that. The answer is absolutely yes. So we have an HL7 dynamic mapping system that works with any standardized HL7 messages. So we can receive ADT messages, even ORMs and ORUs. We can both send and receive. So we have many integrations with the HIS system. We will receive ADTs, receive ORMs from the ordering physician. We then in turn send the ORM to the DICOM modality work list and send the reports and link to the image back into the archive or the PACS. So absolutely yes.
Okay, I can move to the next question, yes?
Yeah.
Can my IT department create their own reports and dashboards?
Great question. Thank you. So the answer is we have our own bunch of reports and dashboards that come out that we think are very common, but we actually use Power BI in the background, Power BI web services. So any IT department that has skills in Power BI would be able to create reports and publish them into our infrastructure. But we hope the ones that we give you are good enough. But the answer is yes. If you have the skills, that can certainly be done.
Okay, thank you. So I'm moving to the questions we got during the webinar from attendees. I would like to know if it's possible to request a demo of the integrated solution with MedDream Viewer, DataHive Archive, and SoluMed RIS. Could you please provide information about how to access a demo environment or trial version for evaluation?
Yeah, maybe I can start some. Yeah, absolutely. We do have a trial server available. Everything is web-based and multi-tenant. So we welcome the opportunity for you to do a demo. Please reach out to us and we'll set you up with a demo account and do some training for the full workflow. But yeah, absolutely, you're welcome to take the system for an evaluation.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we could probably get a demo. There is an existing demo system we could give access to, or we could set one up uniquely for anyone in the matter of probably an hour or two.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So all the attendees can see the contacts in my presentation and contact us later. Next one, do you support keyboard shortcuts to insert a template? I think it's about reports.
That's a great question, and the answer is yes. You can actually assign hotkeys and you can set up favorites as well. So you can hit like Control F10. You can actually set up what those hotkeys are instead of using the mouse. So absolutely yes. Okay,
next question. Can this be used for teleradiology with multiple clients on the same RIS?
Yeah, absolutely. So the live system between DataHive and Telerad is exactly that. We have about, Chris, probably 8-9 different facilities using the system every day, with sites in Nigeria and others in South Africa. And those are all just their own tenants. So when we create the users for those sites, we restrict them. So when they log in, they only see their own. So it's truly multi-tenanted. They don't have any knowledge that there are other sites, because those other sites might be, in a big radiology practice. We have a big customer in Cape Town that have 13 locations. Now, the administrator would be able to see all 13, but somebody that only works in one of the sites, when they log in, they don't even see the others. And more importantly, when we're in multi-tenanted, where they're not 13 sites of the same actual business, but truly multi-tenanted. So the answer is absolutely yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm moving to the next page of the questions. Our attendee have another PAX and asks if he likes to integrate it with RIS and the MedDream Viewer. Could you please provide information about this integration? Also, is it possible to request a demo for MedDream and SoluMed RIS?
Yeah, I'm sure between Chris and I, we could set you up with demo MedDream licenses and to do that. SoluMed has worked with multiple PACS vendors in the past. We've worked with Jarvex from Vastus, Germany. We've worked with Agfo, with Philips, Carestream. And the integration is pretty much always the same. It's HL7 and it's integration with the DICOM modality worklist. So between DataHive and SoluMed, we can either provide you a modality worklist or we use one that you have in place. So very easy to set up.
Okay, the next one. What modalities does the AI interpret? MR, CT, CR, MG?
That's a great question. So DataHive by itself and SoluMed for that matter, we are not AI development companies. We do work with and provide data through proxemics to companies and vendors that specialize in just this. So we do have a company that we work with, a data science company that builds unique and specific models if those are required. But typically, you should perhaps look at this more as a standardization platform where it doesn't matter what the vendors are for the AI, whether it's Cure or Lunit or Delft, the results will be normalized and display in the same coherent fashion to the radiologist. So we do not create or necessarily sell or deliver already existing AI solutions, but we do have partners with various companies, and I know that MedDream works with a tremendous amount of AI vendors specifically in this space for integration. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So the next question, can you indicate basic prices for a small teleradiology with 1 terabyte data volume?
So I think we'd be happy to get back to you with more information regarding, we need a little bit more information on the amount of concurrent users using the system and the ballpark data volumes, but we can easily do that. And we always like to say that you'll be pleasantly surprised by our pricing, and we make sure that we are very competitive in the market.
Okay, thank you. And the last question we got, so I'm going to read it. And if somebody has some more questions, please write them now because we're going to move on. Does the system support via volume rendering?
So that's a great question. And it's actually, I think more so on the MedDream side, this is a function of the viewer, but yes, I believe so. Marius, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah. Sorry, interrupt you. Yes, of course, MedDream supports it, and we have different models for the 3D rendering, and we are constantly improving it. And now we are working on this dental volume rendering. So yes, it is supported.
Yeah, we use in our teleradiology solutions. Our radiologists daily do CT work where they used MIP and NPR, advanced 3D renderings, MIST, and it's fantastic. We've only ever received great feedback from our clinical users on this.
Okay, thank you. So this is all our questions. So I'm going to move to the next slide and use the opportunity to invite to upcoming exhibition. I see one attendee have one question, so please write it if you have. So I'm going to continue with this. our team is going to be in Denmark this weekend, so I invite you to visit our booth there. This exhibition is dedicated for ophthalmology field, so where our team will be waiting for the partners to visit our booth and demonstrate and discuss the opportunities in ophthalmology field. I'm coming back to the question we got. So our attendee is asking, in the premium version of MedDream, is it possible to send a radiology report created in MedDream back to the PACS? For example, to store it inside our Zeta PACS application. I already have a custom service that sends image links to the patient. Is it possible to also use this workflow to forward the report text from MedDream to PACS or another destination, for example, for patient delivery?
So if I may just jump in quickly, Renata. So the answer is certainly when the report is created on our side, we can send that report back into the PACS. So we can either send an HL7 OR, I think it's an ORU, where the encrypted PDF is brought in as a base 64 string. We have had some sites where we put a file in a folder on a local premise, and we just give you a link to where the PDF is, or we can send the report text. So either one of those, any one of those are supported, absolutely. So we can certainly put that PACS, the report back into the PACS or his or anything else that you require. And in terms of the workflow of sending emails back, we currently automatically send emails to the referring doctor. We are working on something to send it to the patient as well. It'd be very, very easy to implement if you wanted to send it to the actual patient with a link to their report and to the image potentially. So all very possible.
Okay. Does someone wants to add something, or I can move on to the next one?
Yeah, you can move on. And if it is regarding would be without the RIS or only between the MedDream and this Zeta PACS, for example, so it's better if you would contact us, so we would be able, you know, to get a more clear picture of what you would like to do, and then we would see what options we have. Or with the SoluMed RIS, then there is this option already exist.
Okay, thank you. And another question. I would like to know if the webinar is being recorded and whether the recording will be published later on YouTube or any other platform. So yes, it's being recorded as all our webinars, and also in a few days, this video recording will be sent to all registrants of a webinar. It doesn't matter if you attended it live or you just registered. You will receive the link and the presentation file of this webinar to the email you registered. And later, it's before the publishing for public. And later, it's going to be published on our website, on YouTube. So it's going to be publicly, and all our webinars, the video recording of webinars, are also in in our website. You can find them in Docs API section. It's under the Webinars Archive section. So all the webinars, all the technical trainings are recorded and published on YouTube, and also these links you can find on our website. I see one more question, so it's going to be the last one. Do you provide any professional AI-based solutions for diagnostic purposes? If yes, could you please share what types of AI models or technologies are being used in your platform?
It's a great question. Thank you. No, so we as DataHive and SoluMed, although we can integrate with and standardize results from pretty much any AI vendor out there, as a whole, as a company, no, we do not provide specific imaging interpretation models as a product. No, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the questions to our attendees. Thank you for our guest speakers. It was very great presentation and demonstration part. I believe all attendees can agree with me. So if we are finished with question and answers, I invite you, if you have any questions regarding quotes, integration, and all the rest, please contact us by the email. We are going to be more than happy to answer you, and of course, our partners will do so. So the next exhibition, I am going to use also this time to invite, this time in France, and this time for radiology fields, and for our French-speaking clients and partners. MedDream is going to be first time in France exhibiting in this GFR exhibition, so we are really welcoming to visit MedDream booth there. And let's continue on our opportunities in the future. And also with Marius, we have one more news to share, that about upcoming technical training. So please check that you get our newsletters, that you follow our social media accounts, because it's going to be published soon, the information about upcoming technical training. And Marius will be the main presenter there and present technical part of MedDream, dive a little bit more deeply. So I think this is it for our presentation and demonstration. Thank you so much for our guest speakers. It was really nice working with you and very nice presentation. So
thank you, Renata. Honored to have any of your attention. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Sol, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Marius, and for all of us, for all the attendees, and see you in our upcoming webinars and events.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.